Good evening. Welcome to Oconee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. After a moment of silence, we're going to ask Daniel Haygood to lead us in the pledge. Please stand. Our first item of business for tonight will be to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Yeah, the motion is second to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now we have any statements or remarks from citizens for anything not on tonight's agenda? Any statements or remarks from commissioners? All right, we just want to announce our last town hall meeting of the year will be on October the 8th p.m. Here in this room. So look forward to seeing you there. Next time is discuss a resolution for alternate courthouses. So you've got a copy of that in your packet. Basically what's happening is Athens Clarke County have mechanical difficulties with their elevators. Currently, they have 3 in the building and 2 of them are out of order. So they have 1 working elevator that could expire at any moment. So getting inmates up and down the elevators without coming in contact with jurors and judges and general public's problematic. When that last one goes down, that's going to put them in a situation where they can't use the courthouse except for the bottom floor. So what we've been asked to do is to adopt this resolution so that Athens Clarke County can use the Oconee County Courthouse. This can be done by the judges themselves by declaring a judicial order. So if that third elevator goes out, they can declare the order and make the move on their own. By doing this, though, we can allow them to kind of go ahead and start planning for that if it has to happen. Bring in our sheriff's office to make sure everything's covered really well. They thought they were going to have one starting this week that they might have to use our courthouse for, but that seems to have worked itself out. We're not sure if any criminal will come over at all, but that would be the purpose of this. If they needed it, they could come over. Anything to add, Daniel? No. As far as civil, they can do that without any resolution or declaration. So you will probably see some civil trials moving this way. We have to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, how long will it take them to get these elevators repaired?
Talking, it's at least 9 months, 9 to 12 months. We just did our upgrades earlier this year, and it took almost 8 months to get just the equipment in and get it scheduled. And there's a big push to get everything upgraded by about every elevator in the state, I think, has to do this upgrade. That hadn't been built in the last 10 years. So it at least 12 months, what I'm anticipating. Any other questions on this item? We are for consent agenda. Next time is discuss a change order for the Bear Creek Water Treatment expansion design service. I'll ask Adam to come up and present that.
Evening, Commissioners. I won't take too much of your time, and before I get too, I guess, carried away with the actual change order itself and what the memo is saying about the Bear Creek, I'd kind of like to give y'all a little brief synopsis on how the design and how everything's going and where we're at. Right now, we're right on the cusp of getting to a 90% design documents. We should have that by November, probably late November. This will nail down our actual not to exceed construction price pretty I mean, tighter than what it is now. Right now, the estimated cost, and y'all might want to cover your ears, is about $108 million for this upgrade from 21 to 42. So 90% should be done by, probably mid to late November. In that same time, I guess as far as when we're ready to go out for bid or when we get the bid done, we'll probably January, February of 2025 will be when we issue, and we'll probably go out for construction around April to June, and that's kind of where we're at in the process. So to get into this, as far as why we, I guess, wanted to do the change order and for the design services, it's mainly, it was really a scope change by us. We wanted them to look at alternate ways of like on-site chlorine generation. We wanted corrosion studies just to make sure we done this right. We lean heavily on our operators at that plant to make sure that they can operate it as efficient as they can. So as far as the stuff we asked for, the committee members asked for, and the majority of us agreed on it, it predominantly come from the operators themselves and how it would make it easier for them to run the plant. We had the luxury of having essentially a 21 million gallon a day plant now, and they know what's wrong with it. They know the quirks with it. So in building this one, we want to get it right. So the change order, getting, I guess, down to brass tacks, originally our share for the design was $547,220.23. It will now, the total will now be $663,532.08. And there's a breakdown in your memo that kind of shows you what that is. That don't really mean a whole lot, but it's essentially, you got, they're looking at our high service pumps. They're looking at our rapid mix designs, looking at alternate methods of doing that. There's just several different little things, but our share of the total change order for us, our share would be $116,311 from the original contract price. But I'm more than welcome to answer any questions.
I do have one question, just that, with public. Can you tell the benefit to the county by doing all this with Bear Creek? That percentage, what that percentage change would be?
Well, right now we, with the Barrow County supplement that we pay for every month, we're at 4.5 million gallons a day. We're going to double that capacity to 9 million gallons a day. So we're not, the plan is hopefully for me to be retired before we need more water. But I doubt that.
How old are you?
Old enough. At least I look it. But yeah, that's really the major benefit, is trying to get us into a good spot to where we won't have to have water again for a while.
Appreciate it.
I hope that answered the question.
That's exactly what I was looking for, because I think a lot of people don't realize that, I think it was a few years back, the issue came up again, and the fact that we haven't high rated those pumps at Bear Creek to expand our capacity for our share of it.
Yes, sir.
And so I think folks just need to know that's why it's an expensive project. Get that extra water, you got to pay for it.
That's true. That's in a nutshell.
Any other questions? So what we had, the finance committee for the Upper Oconee Water Basin already met last week. It's, we have our bond person going out to look at the processes there. So it looks like strategy right now seems to be, we'll borrow a certain dollar amount in the next 4 or 5 months. And then once the final pricing comes in, we'll make that difference up. There's some advantages to that in the market, why they're suggesting it. They're gonna do a lot more research and come back to the authority. We'll come back to this board as well. That's all that. Just let you know that they are moving forward with, financing for that. Next time is just, oh, that's all right for consent agenda, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment on this item? Next time, discuss the budget amendment for the 441 scale replacement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. The scale at the 441 collection site is vintage and has failed recently. And so we're seeking to replace it with a similar 60-foot model that is used by Fairbanks Scale. This would be cost for install and the scale would be $95,209. Requesting approval of this with necessary budget amendments that would come out of our capital reserve fund.
Any questions for Justin?
What kind of lead time do they need to have it replaced?
For a 60-foot scale, we have been told they will have that within the month.
Okay.
We attempted a 70-foot scale. It was twice as much and about 12-month lead time. So 60 is our strong recommendation.
So currently it's just non-operable.
That's correct. Currently, we're charging the minimum to the users, residents of it. The benefit of Fairbanks is we have the interior component of it, so that'll match up with what we currently have on there.
All right for consent? Any public comment? Next, we'll move into our discussion of acceptance of right-of-way deeds. Debbie, Liz?
I've got that.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. This is just a basic standard acceptance of a right-of-way deed from Moore's Word River Revival to Oconee County. It was recorded in February of 2024.
Any questions for Holly on that item? You all right for consent agenda? Do we have any public comment? We do have need of executive session to discuss personnel.
Make a motion to adjourn to executive session for personnel.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, motion carries. We need a motion to go back in regular session.
So moved.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Saxon,
Motion adjourned.
you are adjourned.